What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel. I'm your host. On this episode, we're going to take a trip down memory lane. I want to go down memory lane because I believe that us together, we need to pause and sometimes stop and take a look back only to see how far we've come. We don't look back as to maybe we should turn back. Maybe we shouldn't go down this path anymore. I don't mean that. What I'm talking about is look back to see what you've done, what you've accomplished. And I want us to give credit to ourselves because I believe we beat ourselves up enough daily to hit our goals, to be the better person. And what I mean by beat yourself up, subconsciously, unknowingly, we could be potentially beating ourselves up, meaning you're better than that. Come on, what's wrong with you? Do better. And so sometimes we have to communicate to ourselves that way, in order to dig deep and push ourselves to the next level. But what I want to do is I want to invite you, to take a trip down memory lane. Yesterday I released a video to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Sales Remastered. And of course I'm looking back at that video, and today, which is Monday, February 19th, 2018, there is a podcast that has a YouTube and an iTunes account. The podcast is named Salesman Podcast by Will Barron. And I believe he's out in the UK, out in Europe. He does a podcast where he interviews salesmen, top salesmen, all across the world, really. And so, I've been a follower and I've been a supporter of the brand and his channel, because it's always interesting to see, the different perspectives, different styles. And even though a majority of his guests are more of a business to business sale, I believe that a sale is a sale, right? There's a psychology portion of it. It's just a matter of adapting it. It's just a matter of adapting the same philosophy and skills, or at least experience and techniques, just to a consumer mindset. But nonetheless, it's a specific mindset. And the reason why I'm going over that is because today I'm actually going to be interviewed on this podcast. And so it's going to be played, all across his audience. And I think he has about 10,000 subscribers just on YouTube. Not sure how many followers he has on iTunes yet, but I'm going to check that out. And, I look back and was like, man, I remember a year ago watching that channel and never thought that I'd be considered for an interview. And so, even to this day, as I'm getting prepped, I'm going through the disclosures, because you got to go through like a 3-day prep. You don't just, get called and say, hey, you want to do an interview? Like it has to be, premeditated. So there's about 3 days prior to the actual interview, which is today, you receive a series of emails. So every single day, there's just a quick checklist, a quick reminder, and saying, hey, by the way, make sure your audio is good, make sure all this is good. And so, all that's been done, all that's taken care of. And so I've been looking back and I was like, man, a year ago when I just started this episode, I didn't realize how much I would attract my way. And so then I thought, like, well, what was I doing? Because I want to attract more. And so I looked back at the year and I was like, okay, well, that is how, when I say that, I'm talking about maybe me releasing content on the same channel and also participating in the comment section, because then they see me, right? And so if I left a comment on a video, then my name appears in the notes or the comments. And I saw that Will was very engaging with his audience. So like anytime that someone commented, he was sure to reply back. And you'd be amazed how many people actually don't. Like how many people do not reply back to their feed. And these people, it blows my mind. Like, how are you not replying back to them, bro? Like, how are you not acknowledging your audience members for giving you comments? So that always baffled me. Unless you have like a audience, or just like you're mad busy, like you're just busier than, like Gary V, right? Like Gary V has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And so if there's a bunch of comments, which I think like within the first minute, there's over 100,000 views. That's gangster. and so if there was, 100,000 views and 10,000, let's say, comments, then of course it'd be hard to go through each and every single one. But if you got like 1,000 subscribers, or if you got like 500 subscribers and someone comments on your shit, like, you got to take the time to go the extra mile, right? But anyway, I'm looking at those little details because I want to know what generates and what creates the response, what creates the kind of the positioning, right? And so you hear me on my videos talk about, positioning. And I believe the only way that you use the law of attraction is if you position yourself to use it, to actually experience it. And so there's this misconception that the law of attraction is referring to just think happy thoughts and happy things will happen. Well, it's a combination of think happy thoughts and happy things will happen, but also take the right actions to be in line with those thoughts. And so if you want to think positive and you want to think about, safety and security, then your actions are going to be along the lines of safety and security. You're not going to be jumping like a X Games. Like, this isn't a Mountain Dew commercial where you're lifting off 150,000 foot ramp. I don't even know if they go that high, but damn, those ramps are crazy nowadays, right? So this isn't no X Games. You don't have to be busting out some magic tricks like that. And where I'm getting at is that in order to actually attract the things you want, you have to be consistent. You have to have the right attitude, the right frame of mind. Because what happens when you do this is you naturally open up your eye, not just your third eye, not just, your third eye is in terms of your psyche, right? Like your energy and your chi. But what I'm talking about is like you actually attract the similar, like if you've ever heard of like minds attract, right? Like you attract like people like yourself. And so it has to do because you're actually on a specific wavelength, and only people within that wavelength or that frequency or who understands that frequency are naturally going to come together. This is just the law. It's like the law of gravity, right? It just is that way. And so if you're headed down a path with a specific goal and you keep consistent within that goal and all you think about is that goal, then you naturally take actions that are in line with that goal, and then that goal starts to manifest. And so I invite you to take a trip and look back down memory lane, look back at where you've come from. Because over the last 365 days, wherever you are right now and however you stand right now, I want you to understand that today, right now, is the direct result of the last 365 days of your thought and your action. And so if you knew that 365 days from today is going to be a direct result of your thoughts and your actions, well, what would you do with them? You see, it's kind of like we get a chance to read the future, right? But sometimes we don't because we're busy with the hustle and bustle of things. In life now, there's just so many things that are grabbing our attention, from, our cell phone to our kids, to our spouse, to work, to deadlines, to homework, to just, to specific goals, right? And so sometimes we forget to actually just stop, take a minute, look back, take a trip down memory lane, and recognize where you've come from and how far you've come and what pieces of history are responsible for where you are today. And so we have to look back in our past, because there some of us watching this video right now, and I used to be the same exact way, some of us are going to look past in our, down memory lane per se, and they're going to look at certain days or activities or certain subjects and make an excuse about it. Like, oh, that wasn't my fault. No, damn well, deep down inside, that was your fault, bro. And that's okay, because the faster that we realize and get called out on our bullshit, the faster that we suffocate our bullshit. Anyway, I hope that this video has been helpful. And I guess my takeaway here is that over the last year, I would only expect that I would be on some sort of interview or some sort of channel, on some sort of plane where I'm headed towards my brand, because over the last year, I've been obsessed with ensuring that I have a brand, ensuring that I am positioned properly for what's to come. And what's to come is a digital age. It is a digital revolution. And if you're not positioned with your own brand, with your own community, with your own subject matter, right, that you are an expert in, you love, you're passionate about, and you're not positioning yourself, because this is a long journey, right? This isn't something that you just pick and do like, oh, okay, well, this summer I'm gonna make a brand. It's something that you have to work at, you have to do. And I'm so happy and so fortunate that I have been able to push myself past my comfort zone. I've been able to push myself past the doubt, right? The doubt of no one watching, no one listening, no one, believing that everyone's gonna make fun of me, believing that everyone's gonna think I'm weird, that I'm creepy, that I'm having a midlife crisis, right? Because I'm filming myself, or I have a vlog, I have a YouTube channel, and what I used to think was what I used to think would be funny from the outside looking in, right? Like, because those are the things that hit my head, like right before I got in, right? Like, oh man, what's everybody gonna say? What are they gonna say? And now it's funny now just to think about, like, man, I used to worry about that shit. Because at the end of the day, wherever you find yourself, wherever, if you're insecure, right? If you're thinking that you failed, if you think that you're not valuable enough, if you think that you're not qualified enough, if you think anything as to justify your reason of not moving forward, then just recognize it's you. Listen, I want you to listen to me real clear. There are going to be people who are happy and there are going to be people who are not happy. This is just the way of life. Some people are going to find reasons to be unhappy. Some people are going to find reasons to go get happy. And at the end of the day, you and I, we're the same. We just have a choice as to which group we want to be in. And so if we want to be in this group that just constantly thinks ourselves to paralysis, like over analysis, it's called analysis paralysis, where all you do is keep thinking. You keep thinking of the potential wrong, of the potential errors. And what happens is when you overthink and you become so clouded because you don't want to be judged, you don't want to be, ridiculed, you don't want to be made fun of. There's nothing I believe more than me telling you right now, don't give a fuck about what other people think, because that shit don't pay for your dreams. It don't pay for your bills. I can't feed my kids with what the fuck other people think. I can't feed my family and take care of my family because of whatever the fuck this schmuck thinks. Does that make sense? And I don't mean to be mean, right? But I want you to feel the passion behind it. I want you to feel the intensity behind it. And I really want you to understand that at the end of the day, it's a motherfucking choice. You have the choice to proceed and step further, stronger than you've ever gone before, because today marks a new day. Today starts day one of the next 365 days. And if you have the ability to recognize every single day and remind yourself every single fucking day that no matter who comes in your circle, no matter who tests you, no matter who doubts you, no matter who does this or that, at the end of the day, you're going to answer to yourself at the end of 365, right? And you can do it every 2 weeks. You can do it every week as kind of a check-in. But regardless, at some point, you're going to look back. And I want you to know that when that time comes, the only person to justify the results of where you are at that time is yourself. Because again, a reminder that as of right now, your current stance, your current position is the direct result of your actions and your thoughts, meaning it is your belief system. You do not take action in a certain way unless your thought system and your belief system is within line of that action. And so if your belief system is weak, if your thoughts are hindered and your thoughts are paralyzed and kept back because of doubt, because of insecurity, then I need you to know right now that shit is fucking up your future. And it held me back for so long because I was so worried about what the fuck people thought. Now I don't give a fuck about what people thought. And it's okay if you do right now still. Just understand that it's because you were raised that way. We were wired that way. We came up in society where we were judged for the way we look. We were judged by the way we acted. We were judged by the way we talked. And so if we came up with that background, we understand that we're wired this way because of that, then we have a little bit more control to adjust our train of thought and our mind and our actions. Our belief system can be changed. And in the next 365 days from today, we can have a different outcome, an outcome that you and I can control, an outcome that you and I want. But it all starts today. And so whatever's holding you back, I want you to join me and say, fuck that. What I'm prepared to do is write my future. And the second that you decide to write your future, the second you break free from the shackles that are holding you back right now. And I hope you do. And I hope you do. Anyway, catch this episode at Salesman Podcast, and I will see you around. And I really hope that this video stands out. You know, I want to connect with you on a more personal, emotional level. So leave your notes, leave your comments below. Let me know how this episode makes sense, if it helps you, and if it got you fucking motivated to go fucking be somebody. And you know what I want you to remember is that a month from now, 2 months from now, a quarter from now, or a year from now, I want you to recognize that when you get to that point, you look back and you high five yourself, or you get emotional, you tear because you know you want it so bad, or you hit a milestone and you gain that sense of victory. I want you to understand that you did that. You wrote that, not me, right? I could have been a reminder. I could have been like a point of reference so that you can proceed forward, or maybe get that extra boost of motivation to make it happen. But that was all you, pimpin'. You're the one that made those actions. You're the one that made that choice. So you celebrate it for yourself. I just want to be sure that I'm on your feed when that time comes. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and do me one solid. Please comment. These algorithms read your comments. And so if I've given you any value, just comment, bruh. It takes, man, comment ASDJF. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Just comment. And please leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, however the fuck you feel. Just let me know how you feel. All right, bye.